Welcome back to Lost for Words with Lori. It is Tuesday. It is the 15th of November. It's early. I don't normally do podcasts this early in the morning, but I'm exhausted, man. I did not sleep very well. I was up late again, as always. The drama of toxic cesspool world seems to capture attention, and I was really upset last night, and really dejected and really disenchanted by and disappointed really by all of the things. And I guess the realization and the finality of realizing that I've been doing this far too long, paying attention to all of this toxicity. And while it is part of my journey and it is part of me learning and growing, I'm doing just that. I'm learning and I'm growing, and I'm trying to be the best version of me, and I'm trying to encourage other people to do that as well. And I guess I'm really just disappointed because, I did a live the other night. I don't do that very often, and tried to sit down and have a discussion with the people that I'm closest to on the social medias, and have a dialogue and get people to realize, or at least have a light bulb moment about the behavior that I witness, and kind of how negative it is for each individual. And again, I don't claim to be perfect. I make mistakes too. I got caught up, and I still, have issues sometimes communicating with the people that I'm friends with here on the social medias. But I see people make really good progress and keep going in a really good direction, and then, turn around and get swept back up in the toxic pond and the drama that goes with it. And you would think, after watching people keep on turning and flipping sides and talking shit and doing all the stuff that they do, after a while they would get tired of it and they would learn too. But after a while it just wears you down, and I'm feeling very worn down, to the point where even last night I was talking with one of my closest friends, and I just said, I'm ready to scrap all of this. I don't want to, and I don't mean, I don't mean my platform or what I do, but just entertaining any more of this toxic drama that keeps continuing, because you can give people sound advice and prove to them that it works because other people are following that model of best practices for their supposed businesses or whatever on the social media, for what that's worth. And people don't care. They're so invested in being right, being heard, being listened to getting the last word in and defending themselves, all for what? I mean, I feel sickened, disgusted, disappointed, tired. I don't want to pay attention to it anymore. I feel good when people are feeling positive, when people are encouraging each other to make content, to make up and bury old feuds, and realize that none of this is worth, distracting yourself from the things that you love. And then I see the same people get sucked into the drama over and over. And like I said, I get it. People are human. They have emotions. They have feelings. But at what point do you just stop? And I'm frustrated, and I'm tired of it. And I don't want this. I don't want to have to worry constantly about having to be the sounding board for people who are doing this to themselves. And I've told them that over and over and over again, and then feel like when I want to talk about something other than that it's dismissed or it's not important. And that's a boundary for me. These are my friends, and they need to respect my boundaries just as much as I've respected theirs. And if they feel like I've stirred the pot because I don't like certain people, that's fine. I'll own that, because there are people that I don't care for. And my disappointment isn't because they want to be friends with those people, because I'm friends with people who are friends with people I don't like. And that's okay. And we respect that boundary, and we still hang out, and we still chat, and we still laugh together, and and support each other regardless of that scorekeeping game. But they're also not bringing all of that to the table every second of every day and not listening to the fact that they have a choice. I've been trying to tell people you have a choice. You don't have to entertain it. You don't have to be involved in it. And your consequences, and you're responsible for your behavior, just as I am. And it's dawning on me that I don't like the person that I feel when all of this is coming up and everybody's still talking about it and circling about it. I watch because I don't enable or I don't condone the bad behavior of anybody, and that includes me. But then people keep using excuses to justify and keep the war going because it's good for clicks and good for views. And you guys, it's bad for business and it's bad for mental health and it's just bad in general. And I feel like we've all been cheated out of good content from good people who are good creators, because they spend more time worrying about responding and rebutting to a bunch of fucking stupidity and drama than they do to just walk away and go make the content that these people want to see. And that includes me. I want to be proud of their successes. I don't want to sit around and pat them on the back for acting like 3-year-olds. And I'm done. I just really don't want to entertain it anymore. Especially when little people syndrome keep bringing up stuff and keep adding fuel to the fire, especially when it's none of their business. Do your due diligence, be a free thinker, do your own research. If you see people acting poorly and behaving badly, go find out where that started if that's your choice. I do that. I research people and find out what caused them to be douchebags in the first place. And I make choices about who I want to associate with based on my own perception of their behavior and my disapproval of it or my approval of it. And that's my choice. And every single person out there has a choice to either continue the drama or stop it and go forward and be successful in what you do. To me, the best revenge is success. It's not who can get the best digs at anybody. And honestly, I don't really fucking care where it started anymore. And I don't care what the truth is. If people believe one thing about a situation and other people don't, you can either have a agreement to disagree and have a discussion about it like adults, or you can continue to keep throwing juice boxes. I mean, again, we all do it, but it's getting redundant and sickening and old. I've spent a year of my life reporting on what I see around me, and again, that's my choice. But if you aren't going to get the message and nobody's going to listen and nobody's going to grow and evolve, then I just assume take it offline and continue to be a good friend and supporter to the people who are listening and to the people who are invested in my first world friendship and want to go along for that journey and swim on the same path that I am right now. Because at the end of the day, not everybody is going to be on the same level that you are emotionally and mentally. And if people are screaming out and you can recognize that they need assistance and you reach out to them and they keep slapping your hand, you're going to pretty soon stop offering them anything. Because I personally am tired of getting my hand slapped. It's redundant for me to keep trying because I do care about a lot of people. But it's redundant for me to keep putting myself in a situation where, for me, I'm getting disappointed over and over again by people's behavior. And that's a me problem, guys. It's my own fault for believing that people were mature enough, smart enough, and could handle conflict resolution, could handle being given sound, good advice and learning lessons from past mistakes. I'm learning lessons from my past mistakes. I'm trying to be a better version of me. And sitting around doing this is not a better version of me. It just makes me enabling bad behavior and allowing it to stress me out. And I can't do that. I can't. I have better things to do with my time. And everybody else claims that they have better things to do with their time. And at the end of the day, nothing's getting done. And I'm frankly a little bored with it. And yeah, it's laughable. People are acting like children. People are douchebags. People are shitheads. But at what point do we stop? Do we stop responding and just block, ignore, and move on and keep doing what we do? I've had a project in the works for a long time, and I knew that I was going to have to be emotionally and mentally ready to work on said project. And I allowed toxic cesspool drama to sideline me once again, and I can't do that anymore. It's hindering my own journey. It's hindering my own growth. And it's making me not pay attention to my own feelings, my own emotions, my own grief process, and what's going on in my world. And this is a tough time of year for everybody, including me. The holidays are here. People are struggling with mental health. People are struggling with having to go through holiday seasons without loved ones, and with dealing with trauma and fresh loss and all of the other things that have been going on. And instead of supporting people and being a good listener and offering a fellowship in that, everybody's so worried about he said, she said, and who's fucking who, and who's cheating on their partners, and who's said what, and let's get receipts, and let's get blah, 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 blah. None of you, including me, are innocent in this. None of you. And I've seen more people talk shit out their ass and pretend that they're trying to be better, and then fall back on an excuse, and keep sitting in the toxic pond. You have two choices, guys. You can either swim in the pond forever, or you can branch out and move forward and be successful. Take the positivity, take the lessons learned, take one for the fucking team if you have to, and just stop. Because it's disappointing. We're all better than that. We're all fucking grown adults acting like children, keep poking the bear, getting rebuttals. What you do with your platform is your business. But when I see other people repeatedly abusing their friends, their so-called friends, by using their platforms to keep the drama going, it's disappointing. It's bad for business. And from whether you agree with me or not, at the end of the day, it is. It's bad. It's bad. It makes you look bad. I see all these people screaming about, well, let's make our community good again, great again, or, talking about the way it used to be. And frankly, all this drama, you're the ones who are sabotaging your own community. You're making yourselves look bad. You're making the community that you say that you love look bad, because it makes a mockery of the people who really are invested in this and who do believe in it and want to do the thing that you guys are all doing. But the rest of the world doesn't know. They don't care about internal drama and squabbles. If they come and see all this shit show and this drama in your community, they're not going to take the people who want nothing to do with that seriously. It's bad for your community. It's bad for what you believe in, and it's bad for business. It's not about the money when I say it's bad for business. It's about the reputation of the community that you guys claim you love and respect and honor and want to be a part of so much. The drama is unnecessary, and frankly, it just doesn't make anybody, including your supporters like me. There's a large handful of people who have been there supporting and watching content and being a part of that. And we're the ones who are losing because everybody's so invested in fighting, that where's the content that we came for? I didn't come to your channel or your page or your platform for this. I've tried to be supportive of the things that I love. But, people have made a lot of promises about, I'm not going to do drama anymore. And then 2-3 weeks later, or a month later, or even 2 months later, they turn around and get sucked right back up into it. Stop it. Because for those 2 months, you really understood that it was unnecessary. You could sit in the sidelines and laugh and point and be like, that's dumb. It's not good for business. But then as soon as somebody brings up your name and pokes the bear, you think you got to jump right back in, feet first, into the toxic pond that you know it's just a shit show and it's a destructive cycle that's never going to stop. You know, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed and I'm sad and I'm tired. You know, these people are my friends. I care about them. But at what point do you have to walk away from drama and stupidity, even with the people that you care about, because they aren't learning the lessons? And it's not good for me. I have boundaries, my boundaries and expectations in my own friendship with people, and say, you know, no more have to be more important because I got to protect my own mental health, my own sanity, my own journey at all costs, and stop allowing other people to drag me into it. And that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. It's sad and disappointing that people just cannot be grateful for what they have, be thankful for the situations that they're in, no matter how hard it is, and learn lessons from the mistakes they've already made. Because if you don't learn the lesson, you're doomed to keep repeating it, and it's never going to resolve itself. Establish those boundaries with people who keep poking the bear and just say, you know what, I'm done. Because, folks, right now, that's the point I'm at. I'm done. I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here to keep beating a dead horse and trying to give people advice and be a supportive human, only to feel like people don't give a fuck what I say, and they're laughing at me too. To me, that feels like they're mocking everything that I've tried to express, that I've learned, and saying, well, you're wrong. Okay, well then I have to start making choices that if people are going to continue to behave badly and it's bothering me, that I don't have to pay any more attention to it. And that's going to be hard to do because it's a pretty, tight-knit little community. But I've got to have solid boundaries and expectations about what's good for me. And everybody needs a break. I need that break. I need that break to reassess the relationships with people and to reassess my role and what I'm doing there if nobody gives a fuck to listen. And I don't need that kind of life. I don't need those kind of people in my life. I need people who are going to reciprocate and support me as much as I do them, without all the scorekeeping, the gatekeeping, the drama, the shit show. And I'm not getting that right now. And that's not okay. So I'm done. I'm over it. I'm going to work really hard to cut the strings of drama with people who have repeatedly said they were done and then turned around and did the same thing, including me. I'm going to stop worrying about the scorekeeping. I'm going to just do my thing like I've always done and try to keep moving forward with those people that I feel are accountable, those people who are supportive, those people who are learning and growing and evolving and changing. And I'm sorry, but if you aren't on board the train, you're going to get left behind. And that's just a sad fact of life. You have to have realistic expectations about what's going on around you. And if people aren't meeting those expectations, there's no harm or no foul in changing your mind and saying, I'm out. And again, I need to make a real quick disclaimer that if you believe or think that this is about you, then maybe you need to take a look at your behavior, because this isn't just one or two or three people. This is everybody who is still beating their head against a wall. And it's also for, kind of a hold up the flag for those of us who aren't content creators by our own right, who keep having to watch the shit show and feel disappointed watching people have meltdowns and do all this stuff, and it's not making anybody feel good. We want to go places, we want to go support, we want to go hang out in live streams where people are playing games, having fun, and supporting and laughter and lightheartedness. My first world is already a fucking train wreck with what I've been through. I don't need it in toxic cesspool world. I don't need it in social media either. I didn't come here for this. I came here for friendship, for fellowship, and for goodness, not for this fucking bullshit. And at some point you just get tired and you have to walk away from it. I don't want to quit doing what I do. I'm still on this journey. And like I said, I'm not going to, and I don't have to. And nobody's forcing me or telling me that I need to leave. But I'm getting tired of looking at the train wreck. It's old. It's old, it's stale, and frankly, these people are smarter than that. I'm disappointed that people would rather take the easy route out and act like children than do the hard work it takes to make yourself a better human. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue to make myself a better human. And if people feel some sort of way about that, that's a them problem. I've preached it to the choir for a year, and obviously nobody's listening. So I'm done. I'm done preaching to the choir. All of the lessons that I've learned are available on my podcast for all of you to listen. And I've been trying to get that through all your heads. And it makes me feel really sad because if people were really listening, they wouldn't be entertaining this anymore. And they're not. And I guess that really tells me the truth about who really pays attention to the lessons and who doesn't, and who's just blowing smoke up my ass. And to me, that hurts. That hurts. If you respected my boundaries, my expectations, you know, you would understand that. And like I said, I'm not slamming anybody in particular. I'm disappointed. I'm dejected, and that's real talk. And I'm just not going to do it. I'm stepping away from it. I'm taking a break. I'm going to decompress from all of this shit show. I'm going to catch up on my sleep. Sorry about that. I'm going to work. I'm going to focus on my job. And I'm going to continue to just keep working to be the best version of me that I can. So, sorry, not sorry. I hope all of you have a good rest of your day. Wash your fucking hands and just be a good human.